You can smell it from here, that chocolate, and we're going to talk about it in a moment.
In a moment. We've got to cover the kale first.
We got to cover the kale. And this is the thing. You've been on our show, Andrea Holwegner. She's a dietitian talking about if you want to alter what you're doing, if you're having the same, even if it's healthy food over and over, you think there's got to be something else I can do. You brought in some ideas.
I did. You know, people are always knowing about the health benefits of spinach as a dark green in salads or steamed. I brought in kale to show you. This is one that a lot of people find too bitter to put in more of a salad form.
Yeah.
But kale is excellent when you steam it. Maybe a little garlic, some lemon, some sesame oil, or a balsamic vinaigrette. I know Tom, one of your guys in the studio here, had a great idea. He said, put kale in the oven, put a little bit of olive oil on it, and roast it, and it'll get nice and crunchy, and that's something you can eat as well.
And who doesn't like crunch? Now, tell us about the nutritional benefits. Why do we want to eat kale?
You know, kale is even higher in vitamin A and vitamin C than spinach is. So loaded with nutrition, and it's got more of what we call lutein, which is a phytochemical for your eye. So it protects against cataracts, keeps your risk of macular degeneration lower.
Kale
by getting
it is.
some more of this in your diet.
What if you want just a hamburger? You're saying, I want a hamburger, but I want to be able to step it up.
Yes, so what I brought in here is I brought in bison. So whether it's a bison roast, a bison steak, I brought in bison burgers, which are some of my favorites to grill up on the barbecue. Bison has about 1/3 of the amount of saturated fat as red meat does, so it's an excellent choice from a heart health perspective.
Yeah, now tell me though, sometimes people say because it has lower fat, it's drier.
It is. You know, anytime we take fat out of a meat or choose the leaner cuts, you have to be sort of more worrisome about, you know, are you marinating things or are you just cooking it? If it's a steak or a roast, cooking it definitely rare is how you want to serve bison.
Tell me a bit about health benefits, and is it, other than lower fat, is it the same
good source of iron, good source of protein, just like red meat would be, but just having that little less saturated fat, which is that type of fat that can raise our cholesterol levels.
And if you Google a chocoholic dietitian, guess who shows up? So you brought in some chocolate. What's this for?
I did. Brad Churchill down the street, 2 doors away from my office, actually runs Chocolate, which is in Inglewood, and he set me up with some cocoa nibs here. And what these are, this is actually a roasted cacao nut, which is before we make chocolate. This is what it looks like. And then we add sugar and fat and make it all nice and tasty. But if you're really trying to get the benefits out of chocolate itself, this is the healthiest way to eat it.
It's not quite the sugar and it's not a chocolate bar, but there are health benefits to this.
They are. You know, we know that chocolate particularly is really good for reducing cardiovascular disease in this form. It's high in antioxidants, one particularly called flavonoids, which keeps your arteries protected against damage. So you can sprinkle a little bit of that on your oatmeal in the morning, or a little bit on yogurt, a fruit salad. Or if you're a coffee drinker, grind a little bit in through your coffee and just add a different kick to it.
You could sprinkle this, just a little bit of it on a bunch of sugar and then eat that.
You could. And the extra benefit here is that you're getting a good dose of fiber. So probably about 9 grams of fiber and 2 tablespoons there, which is really good fiber sources. Yeah.
Well, there you go. And you can say, I'm starting my day with a little chocolate. I like to sprinkle it, and it's actually healthy. Yeah, you wouldn't, like if you're really craving a chocolate bar, I don't know if this would cut it.
I don't know if it would. It's a little more bitter. It doesn't have that creamy mouthfeel yet. But if you're someone that really does like that dark chocolate flavor, you'll probably enjoy these.
Somebody told me if I'm going to make changes in my diet, making a sudden change works. Other people say you got to do it gradually because sudden ones never last. What do you say?
You know what I'm always about? I always say bite-sized changes have supersized results. So it's those little things that you can do that'll add up to be bigger, rather than the extreme makeover approach. I just don't find that it's sustainable for most people. There
you go. That's a great piece of advice. Thank you very much. So these are just some ideas, and of course, if you want to know more about Andrea, you want to find out about her website, go to our website, breakfasttelevision.ca. All the links are there. Great of you to come by, Andrea.
Thanks so much, Dave.